Hello, and welcome to another episode of whatever we were calling this last time, White Knuckle Scoring, I guess. We're playing another NES game, and this time it's not a good one. I thought this might be an interesting one to do on the show, but it's not a good game. It should be a good game, and I'll explain why as we get into it a little bit. This probably will be a pretty short video. I don't expect to actually do a full playthrough, which would take a long time on this. But I'll play as long as I guess my sanity holds out. This is Motor City Patrol, which is the only Matchbox licensed game on the NES. Matchbox or Hot Wheels didn't have any others. There is the Micro Machines game that Codemasters did, which is actually quite good. The Matchbox game, Motor City Patrol, it's not good, but I think there was a good game kind of in here somewhere. Like, there were good ideas. Some ahead of their time, I think. So yeah, we'll get into it. And I'll do that by just pressing start. I think to actually complete the game, you have to go through a full, basically a week in each of these districts. So that would be 7 per. And then I think it just loops after that. I've never actually played through that far, but yeah. You'll see when we get into it. This actually looks a lot like the early Grand Theft Auto games, of all things. So a little ahead of its time there. It's a nice top-down view driving game. But it's extremely repetitive. The controls are a little off. The A button shoots your gun, which you don't want to do much unless you're chasing a robber or one of the public enemies that pop up every so often. And of course, just about any other driving game on the NES, A is accelerate. So I think the first thing I did in this game, and often the first thing I do anytime I, for whatever reason, decide to pop it in, is push A to accelerate, shoot my gun, and sometimes just get an automatic game over for shooting a civilian car that happens to be passing. Yeah, there's only, on the streets, like you can see there's some other types of cars, like as scenery, parked, but yeah, on the streets there are the green Jeeps, which are civilian cars and speeders. There are red vans that pop up if robbers show up, and then there's like a purple Corvette that shows up as the public enemy's car. And that's it. There's like, oh, there's a robber. Yeah, there's only like, counting your cop car, there's 4 types of cars in this. There you go. So, yeah, let's catch this guy. And I think you only start with 2 bullets, so if we get another robber, and we probably will, I'll have to just stop him by a pit maneuver, I guess. So the goal of it, for each day, you get another one. You can see there's these 2 buildings that are marked, flashing. Those are the buildings you're specifically meant to patrol, and again, each day, as the week goes on, you get another one. If it flashes for too long, a robber will show up. And they show on this map as yellow markers. The red markers are speeders, which are not as essential to catch, but you can get a few extra points for them. And somewhere midway through the week, a public enemy will show up that kind of takes precedence over everything to catch. Anyway, let's see if we can prevent these buildings from getting robbed this time. Nope, there's a robber. So you push up to turn your siren on, and that also will allow you to make arrests by blocking a vehicle. Is that building still flashing? Okay, so we saved that one from getting robbed this time. You also have a car damage meter up at the top, which you can purchase repairs for. One nice thing is that you can get... I'm going after this speeder here, by the way. You can... Just one that went past me. You can pick up upgrades for your car between days, between stages, which include repairs, bullets for your gun, power steering, acceleration. The thing with a lot of them is, with, say, the power steering, the high grip tires, actually those are good, but the power steering and the acceleration, if you max those out, your car will be like impossible to control. So you actually don't really want to buy those. So anyway, we got to the end of stage 1, or day 1 rather. No robbers escaped. 3 speeders escaped. We caught 2 robbers. Caught 1 speeder, and apparently that's enough to elicit a poor performance. So no warnings, but I guess we didn't do as good as the sergeant wants. So yeah, let's pick up the tires. I think select purchases. Yeah, I really don't want to get the higher top speed or turbo acceleration. Well, the acceleration might be okay. We'll get one of those. Do another tire, and I think 3 credits for repairs. So yeah, we'll just get bullets here. Okay, so control all the indicated buildings. So we'll have another one on the map now. This one down lower left of the 2 we were patrolling the first day. I think there is a bonus if you pick up all of these items, but I forget what it is, and of course, if you're collecting all of those, you're actually missing patrolling your buildings. So yeah, that one I passed on the bottom of the screen, that was the new building to patrol. You can brake also. Up is siren, down is brake. A bunch of speeders on the board. Yeah, up is siren, down is brake, left and right is gear, obviously. Let's see if we can get one of these speeders. Is that one of them? Yes, it was, but there's another one up that's now flashing, so... it disappeared. So, yeah, this is the game, basically. Just kind of driving around the buildings, trying to prevent them from getting robbed and stopping the robbers if they do, maybe picking up a few speeders for extra points. Like, this looks like it should be good, but it's just, it's so repetitive that, you know, I've completed the first week. I don't think I've ever gotten through the second week, and I can't imagine being masochistic enough to actually keep playing after that. I mean, again, it looks good. Graphics are fairly nice. It's a lot of gray, but shoot my gun there. It's a lot of gray, but I mean, it serves the purpose. The car is well drawn. It looks like the early GTA games, on the other side of the law, obviously. But I mean, there's a good idea here. I think, like, this could have been a good game. It's just not. But if it was more refined, I think there are good ideas here that could have been pulled and turned into something better. Also, the map actually loops kind of like Pac-Man, so you can actually drive off the left side. I'll do it here because I'm going after that one speeder. You can actually drive off the left side of the map and come out on the right side. I don't know how much sense that makes, but you can do it. No robbers. Here's a speeder. Not too far, so we'll see if we can grab him. I think that's not the speeder. I'll play at least until a public enemy shows up, I think. I don't know if I'll go much beyond that. Again, this will be kind of as sanity allows. So, you know, we've done good games on here. I thought it would be fun to, you know, pop in a not-so-good game, but one that, again, you can talk about it. There are good ideas in this. It's like, again, the graphics are nice. There's that helicopter on top of the police station. You wish you could fly it, of course, but... No, it's just part of the scenery. It looks good up there. Looks better than the chopper in, like, a Tiger Heli or something like that. Yeah, we've got 18 seconds left on this day. At least the days aren't that long. They do get longer as the week goes on, but... Robert. I missed him. But, didn't get yeah, that robber didn't, count against me for missing it, I guess. Okay, still got a warning. I forget how many warnings you can get. Might be 3 or 4 before game over. So, yeah, driving kind of a square pattern, which might be easier, actually. Should have gotten repairs, I guess. The driving is okay. I mean, there's worse driving on the NES in other games. It's not great, but for a top-down NES game, it's okay. It's a speeder. Building flashing. No robbers yet. That guy's speeding. You can shoot the tires of the speeders too, but you get a warning. Oh, okay, here we go. It's Hans Gruber. Yeah, the pictures and I've never been able to find like anything online that shows all of them. And I don't know how many there are, but there's a good number of pictures for the public enemies, and I think some of them were just taken from like, sources like, I mean, this could be one of the developers, I guess, but I'm pretty sure that is just Alan Rickman in Die Hard. I mean, that looks like Hans Gruber. There's another one that I think he's even named John Boy something, and it's pretty clearly Richard Thomas and the Waltons as the picture. And there's a few others. There's like one is named Babyface, and it's a picture of probably one of the developers' babies or something. Yeah. Like, these might be the best parts of the game. I don't know. Just these graphics, and I wish there was a site where you could see all of them. I've never found one. Anyway, we'll see if we can track this guy down. So he shows us the big red circle there. And usually while you're chasing the public enemy, your buildings end up getting robbed, so you end up actually having to track down some robbers too. So he's already getting away. Oh, he's down there. Left here. He should be on the screen momentarily. There he is, the blue car. Alright, we got him. This is a cool graphic. This looks good. It's a still, obviously, but yeah, that looks pretty good. So yeah, we get five merit points. Merit points are the money that you can use to buy car upgrades in between stages. So yeah, that worked. Now let's see if we have any robbers on the board. We don't, surprisingly. There's a speeder up here. Try to grab them. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't end up with any robbers on the screen. Just from leaving our buildings unattended. I guess the route that guy, that public enemy took, kind of took us past the buildings we're supposed to be patrolling. So that worked to our advantage. The building in the lower right is flashing. Let's see if we can get there in time. If not, we'll just pick up the robber that shows up. Yeah, got it. How much time do we have left? 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Yeah, the days take a pretty sharp turn towards going from short and somewhat okay to being way too long. That's kind of the thing. Like, you kind of want to drive around and explore the map, but when you do that, you're away from the buildings you're supposed to patrol too long, so robbers show up. And, it just doesn't really give you time to explore the map. And there are different maps. After the first week, you get, I'm pretty sure it's a different layout. It's, I think the next week is the nighttime scene, like you're patrolling at night, so that everything's darker. At least there's some variety in the scenery that way. Again, they look good overall, but it is a lot of gray. Is that guy speeding? Nah. There is a speeder somewhere on this street. If we're gonna keep playing, at least after this point, we do need to repair the car between these two levels. And that's the other thing. It's the NES, so I suppose they couldn't do like a transparency map or an HUD or anything. But yeah, you are kind of constantly switching back and forth to the map, and that's. I assume that's one of the two speeders that showed up on the map. Yep. If they're not speeding, they just... I forget now, actually, if you get a warning or if you arrest somebody who's not doing anything wrong. That guy. The buildings are flashing. Oh, there's a robber on the board. Yeah. Got him. So we're actually doing okay. Poor performance again. We caught the public enemy. We got 5 speeders. We got a robber off the street. What do you want, Sergeant? Alright. Yeah, we definitely need repairs. So again, I'm staying away from the higher top speed and the super steering, because if you max those out, your car is like completely impossible to control. Alright, so the new building is kind of below the last new one we got. 5-minute long day this time. I think more and more speeders start to show up as the game goes on also. One right next to me. Yeah, this becomes mind-numbing pretty quick, honestly. Next guy, that guy should be speeding. Trying to get him. I think if you drive behind them, you can apprehend them that way, but it takes longer. Okay, so far on this day. Yeah, I think going below the 2 starting buildings, I think that's probably the best way to patrol, because that way you kind of minimize the distance between those and the buildings at the bottom on the lower part of the map. whenever I'm done playing, basically, I think that I will actually. I should have the credits to do it. I think I will actually max out the steering and top speed, just to show you what happens, and that'll probably wear down our car pretty quick. Aside from shooting a civilian, you can get a game over. I think if you get enough warnings, and I forget how many it is, and you can also get one if you wreck your car, basically. Actually, that's probably the best route. Kind of the inside track there. Left there. Down there. Right here. Doesn't matter if we're on the wrong side or not. Still 2.5 minutes. I might, maybe I'll try to finish the first week, or, I don't know. I'll try to do at least one day after this one, and then call it. Speeder there. This is also one of those games, like, I wonder if Matchbox really was involved in the production of this, or I think it was Source was the developer. I wonder if this was, like, a game Source was already making, and just they ended up getting the Matchbox license, and thought this would be a good one to apply it to. I could see that either way. I mean, I could see Matchbox having a hand in this from the beginning, but... There were certainly other licensed games that were clearly started life as just a general game a developer was making, and they slapped a license onto it. So I could go either way on this one. I believe either. I know there was one speeder there, but far enough away that I won't bother. Try and catch them. Day 4. I didn't catch any robbers, but that's because I patrolled good enough that none of them showed up. How was that a poor performance? I caught 5 speeders, I guess. Alright. Actually, 5 speeders escaped. I caught 4. So, yeah, I guess that kind of sucks. Alright. I'll do at least one more day here. Repair. Let's get one steering for now. Now we have to 6 minutes. Now we do have to kind of take the outside track on the left buildings because we have one on the other side of the street, which is that one. Nobody speeding? Good. Keeping your noses clean. Tanker truck's been parked there all week. Into the tanker truck, which is probably not something you want to do. Tanker truck parked next to a building, cop car crashes into it. That wouldn't be a good scene. So this may be my last real day. We'll see. But I'm thinking after this one I'll just max out all of the upgrades so the car becomes completely uncontrollable and we'll end it that way. We'll go out with a blaze of glory, just crashing into everything. This does have pause music, by the way, too. It's I think it's the same as the front title, or the front title. Wow, that's a phrase. It's the same as the main title theme. Yeah. So not as catchy as the Battletoads pause music beat, but something. So there's a speeder up there. Let's try to get him. Go that way anyway. Yeah, I can't remember if you actually get anything if you collect all of those little items during the course of the day, or not. You might not. You might that might just be extra points individually each time. Alright, this guy should be a speeder. Yeah. No building splashing, surprisingly. We're also almost at the half-hour mark recording too, so yeah, I think this will, for this game, I think that's more than enough time. So yeah, we'll get all of our upgrades during the next briefing. I think it might only be one a week. I wouldn't mind if another public enemy showed up, just so we can see the picture and stuff. Because again, there are a few different ones. I don't know how many, but they are kind of fun, with possibly stolen photos turned into NES graphics. Like again, I'm pretty sure that was just Hans Gruber from Die Hard in that last, not the last one, the one we saw in this play. Bunch of speeders. One of them, huh? Since we have to go towards those buildings anyway, or they're gonna start flashing or get robbed. Got that one. Right, that's speeding too. We just had a head-on collision with him. That's one way to stop somebody from speeding, I guess. I don't know if that's regulation, but that guy's speeding too. That guy's not, so we'll actually, if we try to arrest him, I think that might actually game over it. At least get a warning if you try to arrest. somebody who's not doing anything wrong. Yeah, see how the speeders are, like, spawning quite a bit now. I also feel like, that's a speeder. I feel like you get more damage to your car in the week, too. And you actually don't get damage to your car from hitting the other cars, which I guess it doesn't make sense in any real-world context, but it's it makes sense gameplay-wise in that basically you're intentionally crashing into cars to stop them. So you'd probably basically wreck your car by just catching speeders if you took damage from that. So, again, gameplay-wise, I guess that makes sense, but... and, yeah, stop and think about it. Still a minute and a half. Boy. That's a speeder. I know you can't see this on camera, but one of my cats, Adrian, just joined us here. She lined up to sit next to me on the game room futon. Ooh, there's a robber down there. We didn't have enough time to get him. Maybe. Where'd this guy go? They do just seem to drive in random paths. Basically all of the cars on the board. Yep, almost to him. There it is. None of our other buildings are flashing while I chase that guy down. I guess the path he took us past a couple of the buildings that we're supposed to patrol anyway, but we should have this guy in 20 seconds, so yeah, we shouldn't have to worry too much more about patrolling at this point. Possibly grab a speeder here. It's not a speeder, that's a civilian. 3 seconds, yeah. Nine speeders escaped. So yeah, we let enough speeders escape that we actually got a warning, even though we caught 6 speeders and 1 robber. Oh well. So we have 3 warnings. It might be 4 to game over. It might be more than that. I don't know. Anyway, let's just max everything out and again kind of go out in a blaze of glory here. Yeah, we'll compare it too. Alright. So, choose the new bill. I guess the one on the bottom, I guess. 7 minutes for this day. So, yeah, whoa! Look at this. That's how fast you go. Your steering is just, like, how is this an upgrade? Yeah, you can max everything out, but your steering becomes so loose and your top speed is so high that you just crash into everything. Like, unless you tap the accelerator, there's no real way to have full control over it, and if you're driving like that anyway, then what's the point of getting the upgrade to begin with? So I will play this day straight. I'm probably just going to get game over from wrecking the car, crashing into everything, but I will try to play it straight until Until that happens. So, you can't get any really guy because you drive like past him and then loop him, although we did get credit for apprehending him, just following him. What is the top speed? I guess it's... I feel like this would be more fun if there was like a damage model for the car, which again, I know, NES. But, I mean, the speed that you're moving at this point is pretty impressive for the NES. I mean, never let it be said that you needed blast processing to go this fast. Yes, I know blast processing wasn't real anyway. That was just Sega's answer to fine Corinthian leather. But, yeah, I mean, the NES could get stuff moving pretty quick. I mean, there's, yeah, we just racked out. There's also BioForce 8, the unreleased game, which I do have on a cartridge. But yeah, you move pretty fast in that. Alright, so... Doesn't matter because it doesn't save high scores once you turn it off anyway, but... So... Yeah, I actually got to the 4th highest score on the scoreboard anyway. Alright, so that's Motor City Patrol. More than enough time spent with it, I think. There's good ideas there. Like, it's a bad game, but it's not, like... Well, I was gonna say Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but honestly, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde I put in the same category. It has some really interesting ideas behind it. They don't work, like, at all, but, I do think, like, there were good ideas in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There was a good game in there somewhere, and I think that's the case with this, too. There was a good game somewhere in here. Obviously, the sort of top-down driving idea would get further expanded on, usually would be on the other side of the law, which is, well, let's face it, that's probably more interesting anyway. But with the early Grand Theft Auto games, it was further refined. And the successors to those, obviously including the 3D GTAs, but there's also modern games like, what year did it come out? It's a year or two old, but there's American Fugitive. There was Rustler, which is kind of like Grand Theft Auto, but in medieval times. That's a really good one, too. I have that on Switch. I have American Fugitive on Switch, too. But yeah, Rustler, I need to go back and finish that one, I think. I'm fairly far into it, I believe. Someday that might be a fun one to do on the show, too. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we've spent enough time with Motor City Patrol for at least a couple years, I think. I don't... Again, once in a while I pop this one in, just, you know, just to see sort of the origins of some of these other games. Again, early GTAs, sort of an early version of that top-down driving. But, yeah, you can't play this one too long. So, I'm done. We'll do something pretty soon. I have a couple board game episodes I'd like to film at some point soon. I don't have anything specific to build, so the end builds is on hiatus. Probably not for long, but I don't have anything to build at the moment, so once I get something, I'll do another Dan build. Anyway, have a good night. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Hit like. That always helps, too. But yeah, thanks for watching, if you stuck it out this long, especially, and we'll see you again.